Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video. I hope you're all well. I'd like to start firstly by wishing a refuah shalema to David Finn, and also by thanking those who came to our wonderful share we had on Monday evening. It was a beautiful occasion, lovely food, lovely company, lovely atmosphere, but most importantly an opportunity to express our gratitude to Rabbi Citron for all he's contributed to the adult education in Liverpool. And it was a wonderful opportunity to hear some thoughts and inspiration for the 3 weeks which we're currently in. In fact, Tisha B'Av is actually going to fall. The 9th of Av itself is going to be on Shabbos. But of course we don't fast on Shabbos unless it's Yom Kippur. So therefore we move the fasting to Sunday. Nevertheless, this week, the week before Tisha B'Av, is a very important time, a time of reflection, a time for us to think about the loss of the temple and being in exile, and perhaps sometimes through the year we just sort of accept how we are. We say, well, everything's all right, you know, we get up, we have food, we have warmth, we have relative comforts. Baruch Hashem, we're blessed to live in a pleasant area with nice neighbors, and that all seems okay. But it's this time of year we say, actually no, it's not okay, because God's presence is not with us. We're missing the cake. We have all the trappings, we have all the icing, but we don't have the thing itself. We don't have the Shekhinah amongst us. And when we do, then the whole world will change to be a better place. We will no longer have to exist worrying about anti-Semitism, about illness, about all these terrible things that we just take as part of our lives. We're just used to. Really, it's a time when we hope and pray for a better world. I'd just like to share with you a short thought. We're going to start the book of Devarim this week, and the book of Devarim is really one long sermon. It's where Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, is in the last month of his life. He's not going to cross over the Jordan with the Jewish people into the land of Israel. He's going to finish his journey on the other side, and he tells the people how they're going to behave. He gives them advice. He reminds them of many of the mitzvot. Many are repeated in the book of Devarim, such as especially the 10 Commandments, but many others as well. And it's a pep talk that they should be strong when they go into the land. These are all themes that come out through the book of Devarim. And he begins by reminding the people that they're only in this position where they've been in the desert for 40 years because they came and they wanted to send spies. They could have gone straight into the land, but they wanted to send spies, and they came back with a bad report. And then, of course, as we know, the rest was history. They ended up having to do this 40-year sojourn in the desert. So he tells them, "Vatikvun elai kulchem, you all came to me." And this word, all of you, kulchem, is not necessary. You could just say, "Vatikvun elai, you came to me." Why is this kulchem? So Rashi tells us it means, quotes the Medrash, the commentaries. It says they came like kulchem all together in an unruly mob. He says the youngsters were pushing aside the elders, shouting and noise. There was no respect, there was no dignity, there was nothing orderly. It was one big balagan, as we say, just complete mayhem. And Chaim Volozhin says, why was it necessary to make that point? The main point was that they said bad things about the land. They didn't show enough desire to go, and they spent 40 years. That's the main story. Why is this seemingly minor fact that the way they came was unruly? Why is that so important? And he explains that really there's a concept you have to understand, something very fundamental. He says the way something is done demonstrates the motivations and the attitudes that are being shown. He says, had you gone with the right motivations, you would have come in orderly fashion. You would have come respectfully. Moses, we have an issue, we have a question, please can we ask? He says, the fact you all came in this sort of mob shows that your whole motivations were out of fear and out of a desire to test God, so to speak, and you weren't sure, that you weren't trusting in him, and you were like a panic. That was really the root cause. This lack of respect demonstrated what the root cause really was. You weren't just coming for a respectful conversation. You were coming because sort of anxiety and panic had taken over. And of course, so the opposite is also true. Sometimes when a person does things in a respectful way, that demonstrates that actually they are well-meaning and doing it for the right reasons. In fact, there's a beautiful story told about the great Rabbi Yosef Zundel of Salant, one of the rabbis of the city of Salant. He came to a wealthy person who wanted him to donate, or many poor people, especially in those days. And the guy said, "Look, I don't donate. I don't give money, and I'm not giving charity before, and I'm not going to start now." And of course, he expected Rabbi Zundel to tell him off, and he said no. He friendly, in a friendly manner, he said, I respect the fact you're being honest. At the end of the day, it's your money, and it's up to you to decide how to spend it. And off he went. But his words, because they were genuine, and because he respected him, it had an influence on the miser. And instead of, he was almost looking forward to the negative attention, he wanted to be told off. He received a compliment and sincere praise, and that changed him. And from then on, he would even seek out Reb Zundel to give him money. And of course, it's going to be Tisha B'Av this weekend. The root cause, we're told, for the destruction of the second temple was Sinat Chinom, not getting on with each other. This idea of disrespect, and that disrespectful atmosphere is a very negative thing. And in order for us to repair the churban, the destruction, we have to have what's called avas chinom, love, and just go to do things in a way that we show lots of love and respect for each other. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.